In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to add a notification bar on your header in Elementor Pro. Now, this is what we're going to be creating here. You can see here, I created this bar. Whenever I click on it, it's going to go away. Even if I refresh, it's going to be gone. You can see here, it goes ahead and adds it to local storage, so your user doesn't have to worry about seeing that again. And we set it to a certain amount of days, which is great. So if you do end up enjoying this video, make sure to like it for the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any of my videos. I really hope you guys enjoy. Let's go ahead and begin here. Open up your Elementor editor. Now, go ahead and click on the plus icon here. Let's go ahead and add a container. Now, if you don't have containers enabled, you can use sections. Either or is going to work. So let's go ahead and add a container row. Now, I'm going to bring in a heading. And then I'm going to bring in a button. We're going to have them side by side. Give some styling to our heading here. Just give this a notification of subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. And let's make this white. Let's go ahead and change this to subscribe. Subscribe now. And let's change the background to white. And then let's change the text color to blue there. Do the same thing with our container. Let's change that to blue. Go into your container section, go to style, and give this a blue color. Or, of course, your preference. This is just what I'm doing for this video. So I'm going to set this to the center and also to the justified center and then the align item center as well. There you go, just like this. Now let's go ahead and add our close icon. So go back to your elements, search for icon, go ahead and drag and drop an icon in here. Let's choose our close icon here. Now feel free to upload a SVG or anything like that. I'm just using this as an example. So I'm going to go into style and make this white. Go ahead and actually shrink this because I don't need it to be that large. Leave it about like that. I'm going to go into advanced and remove some of that spacing that we see there. Oops, sorry. Don't do padding. Go ahead and do margin. So just so we can remove that spacing at the top and then the bottom. There we go. I hate when Elementor does that. Alrighty. Now from here, make sure that you're on the icon and on advanced, go into position, set this to absolute. That's going to bring it here to the left, but we actually want the close icon on the right. And we want to give it some breathing room here. So we're going to move it here to the left a little bit. Maybe something like this, about 18. And then to the top, we're going to bring it down a little bit. Now, if you do want to adjust the spacing on this container, you can either adjust the height here or you can add padding. I always just recommend to adjust the height, however you guys would like. But I'm just kind of leaving it like this right now, just for an example. Maybe I'm going to shrink this text a little bit though. Something like this should be fine. There we go. Now let's go and check mobile real quick. So on tablet, it looks to be good. On mobile, probably not. So let's shrink our title a little bit here just to get it all to fit. If your title is really long, you're going to have to do your bar like this and just leave it like this. This will totally be perfect. But if you're a perfectionist like me, you probably want to have everything on one line just for now. So let's click on our container and we're going to do a no wrap. Get this all together there. We're going to shrink our button. Let's go and remove the padding that it has right there. That should be good. Let's give it a little bit of padding here. Oops. Make sure everything is selected. Maybe something like this should be fine. So let's go ahead and just shrink this text a little bit. Try to get it all to fit. And then what we're going to do as well is adjust this. Let's bring it to the top a little bit, maybe to the middle. Doesn't have to be perfect, at least somewhat. There we go. That should be fine, even though it's going to be like this, but most screens are not that small. So that should be fine. All right. And what we could do, yeah, let's leave it like that. Okay. Don't want to spend that much time on this. Okay, so now for the main thing, let's just update this. That's good. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on your icon here. Let's go into the CSS classes. Let's give us a class name of close bar. And then let's give our container our section a name here. Go to advanced, name that bar dash container. That should be good. Oops. There we go. Bar dash container there. That is perfect. Now from here, let's go ahead and actually save this. And then let's go into what we're going to do. I kind of don't want to open up another window in case I save it. So I'm going to actually go into Elementor and then Elementor code. And this is where we're going to add our code. Now feel free to also, if you don't have Elementor Pro, you can go ahead and add your HTML element. So what you do is you search for HTML and then you drag that somewhere under your bar. Because I know some of you guys may be using the free version, then you're using an extension, another plugin for the header. So you guys can just grab this and put it under your bar. Just make sure whether it's in your header here or anything like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our, oops, looks like we accidentally went into our page. Let's go into Elementor, Elementor code, add new, and let's give this a bar. We're going to call this notice bar for notification, notice bar. There we go. And then we're going to do a body end, load our jQuery. And let's go ahead and begin here. So we want to go ahead and type in jQuery. Make sure that the Q there is capitalized. Some brackets there. We're going to put document because we need to wait for our document to load. So once our HTML document is ready, we're going to go ahead and run this function here. So we're going to do a function. Now something I did forget, and I forgot to add my scripts. So let's go ahead and actually add our script in here real quick. And then, oops, let's grab what we just had here. Paste that in here. There we go. Now let's keep going. So from our function, put in some oval brackets there. Let's go ahead and add the $sign in there. And then let's add our curly brackets. And then now we just need to add an event listener for a click. So let's add the $sign, brackets, single quotes there. We're going to do dot. Then we called it close bar is that icon. Close bar. And we're going to do an on click. And once that's clicked, we're going to run a function. And then we're going to go ahead and do our $sign there, oval brackets. We're going to target our container. So we're going to do a bar. We're going to have to put a period, very important for our class. Bar dash container. Now, whenever that is clicked, we want to go ahead and hide it. Just like that. Okay. So now let's hit publish. We want to publish this on the entire website because our bar is going to be on the entire website. But of course, you can select a certain page that you may want. Now I'm going to go ahead and just preview this. Of course, I could just go to home and try it out, but let's test it out now. There we go. So you can see it works perfectly there. Now, something that we could do is give this a cursor pointer. So let's click on our icon here, go into advanced, go selector. Let's add a cursor pointer so people know that you can click on it. Now, as you can see, whenever I hover over this, we have a clicker pointer now, cursor pointer, I should say, which is great. Now it works perfectly. Now, the only problem that we have is that whenever we refresh it, it's still there, right? So what we want to do next is actually add this to our local storage. So it checks whether we've added it or we've already closed it. So from here, I'm going to go ahead. First things first, actually. Let's go ahead and once we do this, we hide it. We also want to add something to our local storage. So let's do local storage dot set item oval brackets. And then in that, we're going to call it, let's call it something. Let's call this notice bar. And then we're going to go ahead and set this to, so we have our key, and then our value is going to be true. Now, regardless, it doesn't matter if I even do it this way and send it and put it as a Boolean, it's still going to convert it into a string, so that doesn't really matter. So for now, let's go ahead and do it like this. And what we're going to do now is hit update. Now, what you'll notice is that it won't close right away, but I just like to go ahead and show this, how this works, because I feel like it's important. So let's go ahead and click on close here. And if I'm correct, get out of here. I didn't see get added actually. So let me refresh this and do this again. Maybe I didn't refresh it. There we go. So notice bar is set to true. So it's still going to come back because now we just need to add a condition that checks whether there's a notice bar key in local storage. So what we're going to do now is at the top here, before we even start the click event, we're going to do local storage dot get item. And then we're going to go ahead and get the key there. So we're going to do a notice bar. So we're going to check. We're going to run an if statement just to check if it's created. So basically, if from here, we're going to do if. Actually, you know what? We got to run this in a const. So let's add this to a variable. Do const bar or notice bar. We can just call it notice bar. Okay, let's grab this here. And then add an if statement inside our oval brackets here. We're going to go ahead and check whether it's been created. So if this exists at all, it's going to go ahead and trigger this. And if that's the case, we want to go ahead and run this. We want to basically just hide it. So as soon as we load it, it's going to check for that. So now, if we load, it should be gone. There we go. Always going to be gone. Doesn't matter. See, it's gone. But if we remove it from our key here, it'll come back. Because now we don't have it saved in local storage anymore. So now user can see it. But if it gets closed, it gets added here. And we have the same process, right? There we go. Not a problem. So the only thing that I see happening in the future is that maybe we want to set this to a certain amount of days, right? So I have another code that I'm going to provide. I'm not going to go and code it right now just because it's a little more complex, but I will provide it in the description in my source code. I'll have two options there on my site, whether you want to set a day or you don't. And let me actually paste it in here so I can go over it a little bit. So it's going to be this code here. And basically, we're going to go ahead and give it a timestamp. You see here. So once we click it, we're going to give it a timestamp and then add that timestamp to our local storage. And basically right here is the amount of days. So just edit this part here, whether you want to put 30, whether you want to put 20, whatever you want to do. So you can change that, whether, if you want to do 10 days, 10 days, that's how you would do it there. So right here, I may just update mine a little more, but basically right here, we're getting the notice bar. We're checking the local storage for that hide bar timestamp key that we end up inserting. We check if it exists. If it does exist, we go ahead and grab the current date, and then we basically compare it to the current and then the one that we created on the hide bar timestamp, and we take away the difference, and then right here we get the amount of days that we added, and then we basically check if the time difference is less than 30 days in milliseconds there. And if it is, we hide it. And if it's not, we go ahead and remove that key from local storage. That's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, just comment down below and I'll try to help you guys out. I'll include both codes in case you guys want to use it. Obviously, I would use this one more because you want to set that to a certain amount of days, not pretty much set that indefinitely. So it's really up to you guys. But I wanted to give you guys a good understanding on that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like it for the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any of my videos. Thanks for watching.